Hello, welcome to Restaurant Technology Systems. In this lecture, we are going to learn about the technology systems in restaurants. We're going to talk about different things, but before we do that, let's just go over the items that we're going to talk in this lecture. First of all, I'm going to introduce you a little bit about the restaurant industry, and I will talk about the heart of a restaurant industry, which is the point of sale system, table management system, and home delivery software. We'll talk about it, frequent dining and gift card programs, inventory control system, and menu management systems. So I would like to first tell you a little bit about the restaurant industry. It's a huge industry, almost $900 billion industry in the United States. Let's watch this short restaurant industry update, which is designed, this particular video is created by National Restaurant Association. That's the premier association for restaurant industry in the United States of America.
The National Restaurant Association's Restaurant Performance Index in December was 101.1, a decline of 0.7%. Restaurant operators reported some softening in same-store sales and traffic conditions, but their expectations for business conditions 6 months out did move up slightly. Regarding restaurant capital spending in December, 58% of restaurant operators reported making a capital expenditure over the past 3 months, and 61% of restaurant operators expect to make a capital expenditure over the next 6 months. The restaurant industry continued to add jobs in December, up another 16,000. Over the past year, the industry has added 271,000 jobs on a net basis. And restaurant employment in 2019 was up by 2.2% compared to a lower 1.4% for total national employment growth. Regarding wholesale food prices in 2019, that index moved up dramatically compared to 2018. For 2019, wholesale food prices were up 1.6%, and that compared to a slight decline of 0.1% in 2018. Certain commodity groups were up, for example, potatoes, fresh vegetables, spices, beef, and dairy, and other commodity groups such as citrus and eggs were down. Regarding menu price inflation for 2019, that index came in at 3.1%, up from 2.6% in 2018. 2019 is the highest year for menu price inflation since 2009. Grocery store price inflation was more subdued, coming in at a 0.9% rate for the year. Overall inflation clocked in at 1.8% by comparison. So in sum, the Restaurant Performance Index in December was 101.1, a decline of 0.7%. Restaurant industry employment was up by 16,000. Wholesale food price inflation for 2019 came in at 1.6%, and menu price inflation at 3.1%. And don't forget, for additional information, to visit our website, restaurant.org. Thank you.
As you can see, restaurant industry is huge in America. For that matter, it's very huge also in the world. And one of the reasons for this is very simple. In 1955, this is for US, only quarter of a food dollar, if a family spends $1 on food, quarter of it was spent on restaurants. In other words, people quarter of the time in 1955 ate outside. But when you look at today in 2020 and beyond, that this ratio is almost 50-50. That's good news for the restaurant industry, but it's going to be even larger as the population increases, as the disposable income increases, as choices gets cheaper and more affordable and also more convenient, then this ratio is going to increase more and more. In the video, you heard about the restaurant industry. In 2020, it's been predicted almost $900 billion. In 2019, $862 billion. In 2018, $833 billion altogether. So this is eating places, full service restaurants, limited service, which in other words is quick service restaurants like McDonald's, KFC, etc. Cafeterias, grill buffets and buffets, snack and non-alcoholic beverage bars, social caterers, bar and taverns, and other, like food truck, for example. And non-commercial restaurant services also consist a portion of the share in the restaurant business, and military restaurant services. So it's a big industry, and in this industry we use a lot of technology. Think about it. Quick service restaurants where people come, order, and then go take their food. Usually between 7 to 10 minutes is the average time that they spend in the restaurant. To casual dining, where people come, sit down, order, eat, then pay. Or fine dining restaurants, that's the highest level restaurants. Some people may call this gastronomical restaurants or white tablecloth restaurants. Or there's another category of restaurants which is called fast casual. It's not like fast food, quick service food like McDonald's, but it's not casual restaurant where you go sit down, order, and eat. It's in between, like Panera bread. You go order and then your food comes to your table a little bit later. So depending upon what kind of restaurant you operate, the technologies that you're going to use is going to differ. But almost all of them, at the heart of a restaurant system, is the point of sale system, just like you see here. And let's just like talk about this graph very quickly. Recipe management. We're going to talk about this in chapter here in this lecture. Inventory control, menu engineering, nutritional analysis, online purchasing, extranet applications like Cisco, for example. You can, or US Food Service. You can actually create a link to a distributor directly. When you look at over here, server paging, we'll talk about that. Table management, banquet and catering applications, event function room scheduling is another type of software. Every bullet potentially a different software, or sometimes a combination of hardware. And if you look at over here to the bar side, automatic beverage dispensing, transaction processing technology, internet applications, home delivery, electronic marketing, internet applications, all part of the management applications and sales applications of a restaurant. Inventory control here as well, forecast modeling. The accounting portion, the financial, is over here, general ledger accounting, financial management, time and attendance, this is the HR piece here, time and attendance monitoring, labor scheduling, and of course you have the maintenance, energy, fire and life, and safety. So this is the big picture. Let's look at some of these technologies in a little bit further detail. Point of sale system. As we have said, that's the heart of a restaurant system. It's a network of cashier and server terminals that typically handles food and beverage orders. And I'm going to show you some examples of point of sale systems. Transmission of orders to the kitchen and or bar. Guest check settlement means that at the end of the meal, you're going to take the credit card or cash, whatever. Timekeeping of your staff members. When they come in, they clock in, clock out. Again, point of sale system can do it for you. Interactive charge posting to guest folios. This happens in a hotel. If you have a restaurant in a hotel, you can actually charge the restaurant bill to your room, guest folios, right? So there is an interface between point of sale system and PMS system, property management system. And also point of sale system can be imported into accounting, food cost inventory software packages, so that you have a very better management. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in this lecture. A variety of different reports can be obtained from point of sale system. Open check, which means that this is all the outstanding check. Let's say that one server finished a shift, going to another, can give this report to the next server, say that, hey, look, these are the tables that I have, they are open still. So you can take it over. Cashier reports all the money go in. Voids and comps, this is important because in a restaurant, think about it. Sometimes you go and the guest, for whatever reason, may not be happy. Maybe he or she is not happy because the food was wrong. They ordered steak, you brought them chicken. They wanted well done, you brought them, or they wanted rare, you brought them well done. Whatever the reason might be, or they didn't like it, it's too not cooked, it's too overcooked. Taste is not good, too salty, little salty. The reasons are countless. At the end of the day, there might be reasons why. You can do a void or comp. Let's say somebody came at a table of 5, 4 people's order came, the last person's order came 15 minutes late. So everybody ate, and then maybe the manager says that the desserts are on me. Sorry about this problem. So that's a comp, right? So, but you want to get a report of voids and comps. Why? Because sometimes, unfortunately, some of the employees, servers, may abuse the system and create a void, especially when somebody pay cash and put the pocket in. Does it happen all the time? So you may want to have a report, check on these from time to time. Now even artificial intelligence actually enabled point of sale systems can even tell you that, hey, look, things don't look normal. In a given day, if you have only 5% void or comp, but in a one particular day when John is working, it becomes 15%. That means that there's a red flag. Just check in there, right? Sales analysis report, menu mix report. Menu mix report shows you what you are selling. You know, there is a menu mix matrix, as you can see here. It's the stars. Those are the ones that tells you that you sell a lot and you make a lot of profit. And there is puzzle, there is plow horse, and then there is the dog, right? These, all of them. Plow horse is the one that you make little money, less profit margin, but you sell a lot. And the puzzle that you make a lot of money, but you sell little. A good example is a very expensive champagne where you make a lot of money, good profit margin, but you don't sell every day, right? Those are the things it tells us. You want to be, as the restaurateur, in the star box as much as quadrant as much as possible. But by looking at this reports on a regular basis allows you to be able to manage your restaurant better. Restaurants are interesting places. The average profit margin is about 7%. Another statistical fact about the restaurants is that every out of 10 restaurants open today, 7 usually fails within the first 3 years. So thin profit margins, high likelihood of failure in restaurant business. If you add this up together, these reports that you see on your screen here become even more important to manage it, because one of the main reasons why restaurants fail is the lack of cost control. If you don't control your cost well, you are going to have a problem. You can have many more reports, not just the ones that you see here, and the managers usually decide. And point of sale systems used to be quite expensive. Now I'm going to show you some examples later that you can find even iPad enabled point of sale systems that is even cheaper. But the average cost of a point of sale system, including installation, is about $15,000 and must be replaced or upgraded every 3 to 5 years. Okay, point of sale systems, they evolve as anything evolves. What you see on the screen, actually this is not Micros 1700. I wanted to show you. Micros is one of the market leaders in point of sale systems. It's a company out of Columbia, Maryland, very close to Marriott headquarters there. I used to work at University of Delaware, so I used to take my students to Micros headquarters. Now Micros is bought by Oracle about several years ago, 5-6 years ago. It's still the market leader. This is not, what you see is not Micros 100, but the same idea. Micros 1700 was the 100% what we call hard keyword. So everything you see, these are the point of sale items here: satay, chicken, teriyaki, tuna sandwich, Italian sandwich, etc. So all of these are the buttons for the different menu options. There's modifiers, mayonnaise, ketchup, do whatever. And then there's also cashiering buttons here. So even though this picture is not Micros 1700, I couldn't find it actually. When I first worked in the first hotel, they were using Micros 1700, I remember. But this is a real picture of Micros 2700. Micros 2700, for the first time, they actually used what we call soft screen here, right? This is a digital screen, which means that the menu can change. This is a screen, but this is the soft screen here, right here. So depending upon what you push, for example, you push to starters, and then you see all the calamari, the mozzarella sticks, etc. Whatever the restaurant offers, you see them in here. This is still the hard keyboard. Those are financial and some of the modifiers. And this is my my screen. That's 2700. To show you again the evolution of point of sale systems, Micros is a great company to show this because they've been in existence for a long time. And 3700 is the first one that they did in Windows NT operating system. This is what it looks like here. Fully touchscreen system. You can swipe the credit card here as well. And 8700 was also on Windows NT. This is used a lot in quick service restaurants. And the latest model of Micros, which is still even used today, is 9700, or it's called Symphony. Micros Opera has a PMS system called Opera and Fidelio Opera, and then hence Micros named it as a Symphony. This is what it looks like. Again, it's 100% touchscreen. So this is input and output screen at the same time. There is a printer next to you. This is the credit card slot here, which is also used for employee cards to identify which employee is using the point of sale system. Also, today you see a lot of different point of sale systems. This is an iPad. Look, this is an iPad based, much cheaper, usually great for mom and pop restaurant operations. If you have one store, this is very, very affordable and user friendly. Obviously, you can even use this in your mobile phone as well too. This is another example, Touch Bistro. Look, again, they just basically turn an iPad into a point of sale system with the pictures here. These are just some examples of different.
You opened your restaurant for a reason. What if your POS made running it easier? This is Touch Bistro.
Can it help with this lunch rush?
Absolutely.
So I can send orders from here?
Of course.
Can it handle takeout orders?
Yep.
Or delivery?
Uh-huh.
And online orders all from one device?
You bet.
Can it tell me which taco special I should offer this weekend?
Pork and pineapple has been a crowd favorite.
You're right. My fave too.
Can it help me keep my cool when it's New Year's Eve and the internet goes down?
No worries. Touch Bistro works even when the internet doesn't.
Can I call support whenever?
24/7. Can it help me make more money?
Don't forget the extras.
How about 2 patties, bacon, onion rings, triple cheese, and a fried egg?
Oh, yeah.
2 steak specials. Can it tell me how many I have left?
Got a few left, chef.
Get rate 86 a special.
Touch Bistro's one step ahead, chef.
1 half sweet, non-fat, extra hot, half soy latte with extra caramel, please.
Can it make sure I got that right?
Yep. Nice work.
Now can I keep her coming back?
Have her join the loyalty program.
See you tomorrow, Sarah.
Can help me sort these checks? They're all splitting.
No problem.
They're sharing.
Join them.
He's solo.
Yeah. Got it.
Can handle different payments?
Uh-huh. Debit, credit, cash, no problem.
Can I check my sales reports?
Yes.
From here too?
Anytime, anywhere.
Or edit my menu from bed?
Go for it.
Can it help me make gnocchi just like Nonna?
No. Sorry, chef.
Worth a try.
Touch Bistro. We get restaurants.
Point of sale systems. Observe is another one that I found. And here, this is all-in-one system designed to for the restaurants. You can not only just do point of sale, payments, insights, which is the analytics, workforce for the HR portion, inventory, we're going to talk about this, loyalty, online ordering, or marketing. And some of the biggest players in the point of sale industry are Micros is the market leader, Aloha, Digital Dining, Potty Touch, Restaurant Manager, MetReady, Squirrel, Casio, and Panasonic. These are some of the examples of point of sale system. But like I said, there are a lot of newcomers, especially using iPhone or Android technology that you can do. So let's talk about the advantages of point of sale systems. Why you want to use a point of sale system instead of regular, the pen and paper system that you can actually take a pen and paper and utilize that. First is elimination of arithmetic errors. If you do this manually, let's say table of 5 come, you're taking their orders by using pen and paper, and at the end, if they want to add together, you can have arithmetic errors. It's very possible, even though you may be using calculators, especially if this 5 people say that split the check. So point of sale system, fix that. In this video, I'm going to show one example of this. Very, very simple. You can just see in how point of sale system can help that. Same thing, improve guest check control. Right? What do I mean by this? When the people come into my restaurant, if I open a check for them, that this is going to have a better control, less fraud, because I can check if people's check has been opened, and electronic track open checks, settled checks, voids comes, as we have talked a little bit earlier. Remember when talking about the reports, discounts, sales for each server. So you can actually create competitions. Who's going to sell the best upsell? When people come to your restaurant, let's say they order a main course, and you can train your servers, or even point of sale system can remind them to say, hey, would you like to get an amazing soup or salad? We have wonderful soup. Or if they finish and they don't order dessert, maybe they said we are too full for dessert, no room for dessert. But again, the point of sale system can remind them to say, how about you share our signature dessert? I can bring you 5 forks or 4 forks, whatever you can eat. So this is really, really wonderful. And also you can track employee meals in point of sale system. If you have a program for employee meals, they can maybe get a 50% discount, or they can get for $3 set price, whatever they can eat throughout the day during their shift. It ensures that employee meals, waste, and guest comps are ranked up and discounted accordingly. So there's also more advantages of the point of sale systems. Increase average guest check. Since our orders are transmitted to kitchen printer, travel time to kitchen is reduced. So this allows more time for the suggestive selling and servicing guests, and even maybe reducing the time that you spend servicing your guests, so that it might be even quicker turnaround. And point of sale system can be used for job evaluations, motivational programs, like I said, contest, best upsellers, and etc. Average guest check, item sales, server efficiency, sales per hour. These are all great, and you can have, as a manager, you can even give a prize for your guests, for your servers, and have them do it. If you look at this report here, you can see that this is for one of the servers. You can get that if that person has any voids or comps, how much is the gross sales for that server for that period. Maybe that's a day, maybe that's a week, maybe 2 weeks, whatever that might be. Average guest check. Look, you can say competition. Whoever gets the average guest check is going to get a $50 gift card from us. Number of guests served. This is good for also tip distribution in the United States. Servers are expected to be tipped between 15 to 20%. And you can look at the sales breakdown for each of the servers. This is, again, amazing way to create threshold benchmarking tools between the servers. Some other things, fast reaction trends. What do I mean by this? We mean that if you have, let's say, a item on your point of, in your restaurant, and this item is not sold a lot, but you have a special, so then you can track this. Remember the menu sales mix that I showed you earlier? So you can check over there and say that maybe one item is not good. So you can replace that with another one, get rid of it from the menu. That will release some of the tension that you have. Or if you have a bestseller, you can introduce that again. Let's say you introduce a special and it sells amazing. You can maybe make that part of the menu. That's what we mean by faster reaction to trends. And also some point of sale systems provide information on table turnover, especially if they use table management system as part of the point of sale, which we're going to talk next. This can be used to evaluate station sizes, service style, server and kitchen efficiency, seating and reservation policies, and dining room table mix. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we talk about table management system. And also, point of sale system can streamline employee tasks so you can know where you are. Reduced labor costs and greater operational efficiency is another advantage of point of sale system. And since cover count information is retained on an hourly basis, remember that report that I showed you a little bit ago, for each day, managers can use this to sense changes in daily workloads, forecasting, and taking the required action of it. This will help reduce unused labor capacity. So if I know what's the sales per hour on a given, let's say, week, so I can forecast and I can say that I will bring 2 additional servers to make sure that I have a better system. Reduce credit card expenses. That means that if the point of sale system is interfaced into the credit card system, you may pay less commission fees to merchants, and that's one advantage. You need probably a telephone line or internet connection for a faster credit card processing to support a point of sale system if you make that credit card as part of a point of sale system interface. And point of sale vendors can offer clients very competitive credit card commission rates through arrangements, because imagine Marcos sells thousands of these point of sale systems. They have some arrangements with some banks. If you go into that, you don't have to, but you can. That will also save you some money. A recent development is the mobile payment system. As you can see on the screen here, Apple Pay, WeChat, you have quite a few different payment systems with mobile. That is becoming more and more. In China, this is even almost like a standard. Almost nobody uses plastic or cash. Everybody is using mobile payment in the form of WeChat or Alipay. Reduced late charges refers to the point of sale systems or restaurants in hotels. Imagine a guest goes into the restaurant, eats a meal, and then goes and checks out. That check from the point of sale system to the PMS system, property management system, is going to be automatic, instantaneous. Therefore, you are going to reduce. In the old days when there was no interface, the guest may have eaten a meal or drink something, check out. Since that physical check was not brought to the front desk on time, it could have been a income loss. When you design the point of sale system terminals, there are 2 different terminal types: a server terminal or pre-check terminal. A cashier terminal also can be used for both settling the checks, putting the checks, or for support cash drawers. A server pre-check terminal is just a terminal that sends the orders to kitchen. The other one can be used for both. A terminal consists of display screen and a keyboard, sometimes fully touch screen and a keyboard or touch screen, depending upon the model. You have seen actually some of the examples earlier. Magnetic stripe reader or chip reader. Now today, chip and pin are used. Fingerprint reader in some cases, or point of sale system RFID radio frequency reader for guest watches or for the servers, etc. And handheld technology is part of a design as well. And I'm going to show you some examples now in the different videos that I have shot over the years, different portions of this. So you're going to see some examples in a second. And mobile point of sale system devices also involve a handheld terminal. You see as in the picture, tablet, PC, or smartphone. And you can also look at the video that I'm going to show you. Mobile restaurant operations such as food trucks particularly benefit from mobile POS, but you can see them in a traditional restaurants as well too. And tablets can be used in this one. I have again given some examples before, but I'm going to show you some other examples. Point of sale system input key classifications preset. These are the keys identified by item name or icon. For example, hamburger to enter the order. Also, it has the price with it, so you don't have to worry about when you push the hamburger. You can even create this preset based on the time. Let's say that you have a happy hour. During the happy hour, beer, Bud Light could be $3, and that could be 3 to 5 p.m. And other times it could be $5 or $6, whatever that might be. And the point of sale system can know that, check the price accordingly. Price lookup, PLU number. These are the number of preset keys appearing at once, limited by the size of keyboard or screen. What it means is that, for example, if you put on the menu starters, then all the others come under that menu. Numeric keypad, this is used to enter PLU. Nowadays, nobody almost use PLUs, these price lookup numbers. It's all inside as the preset. And payment, the cashier can choose from a number of different payment keys, cash, Visa, or mobile payment, as we talked a bit earlier, and that will take care of the payment. And cooking instructions, you can also have, you can say, for example, if somebody ordered steak, those are additional modifiers, force modifiers, that you have to choose. For example, do you want this well done, rare, medium rare, whatever that might be. And actually, if you're using a handheld point of sale system, that this can actually even show, remind the server that you have to ask how people want their, if you are ordering salad, you will ask them the dressing. Hard keys, these keys assist in processing transactions such as void and clear. Again, you have seen, like you see in the screen here, that some of the point of sale systems actually have these hard keys. Item recipe lookup, we're gonna talk about this in a second when I talk about the menu management. I'm going to show you how point of sale system can be interfaced to menu management system or inventory control system, that actually as the order is placed, the inventory items go down. Customer lookup is another function. Okay, now when a server goes and puts the, let's say, handle point of sale system, hello sir, ma'am, welcome to our restaurant. My name is Jihan. I'm your server. How can I help you today? What would you like to drink? So the person, let's say, wanted a Diet Coke or beer or wine. And when you enter this into the point of sale system, this is going to go to the bar, right? It's a beverage. So it's going to go how? Or if it is a menu item, let's say soup, salad, or steak, it will go to the kitchen. Even in the kitchen, there are different stations in the kitchen. How is that going to go? One way, the most common way, is a printer, kitchen printer, like you see in the screen. As this, the point of sale system order is done, it goes into the kitchen. Or you can have what we call kitchen display systems. Let me show you a video, and you are going to see what I show you in this slides here. You know, in this video, it's going to show in the video screen, and as they show up, you can actually see which server had that order, how long that order has been in the kitchen, in production. This way you can actually compare the chefs to chefs, right? You have your cooks in the kitchen. If, for example, it takes, and you can have preset times. Let's say that somebody ordered a burger and the burger time is 10 minutes. So when it goes into the kitchen display system, it will track the time. If it is more than 10 minutes, it will create a color code, inform the kitchen staff that, hey, look, this is becoming late. If you're late, the guest satisfaction is going to go down. And it also notifies the management. And then you can even, like I said, compare. If Mondays you have a lot of late, and that day is Jackie is working, and the next day is Mary is working, but Mary is a better cook, so she cooks better on time. So you can actually even ask Mary to train Julie. Say that, look, Julie is taking more time to cook these things. How can you help her? Let's watch the video, and then I think you're going to understand better and all these things.
When you look at restaurants and technology, everybody thinks of point of sales. But really in a restaurant, the kitchen is the heart and soul of the restaurant. And no matter what you do, no matter what you have out front, hostess systems, point of sales, if your kitchen's in the weeds, your restaurant's in the weeds. So everything, your restaurant's going to go up and down that kitchen. It's really the heart and soul of your restaurant operations. In these systems, the way they work is, this is just a kind of an example here of where you would put a video station in each of the different food preparation areas in your kitchen. In this case, a grill, a fry, a salad station, and then the expediter. As items are entered at the point of sales, these systems, the kitchen display systems, are going to route the items at the appropriate station, at the appropriate time, based on cook times, based on any number of things that may occur in a restaurant, people dropping food, steaks, whatever occurs. And what this does is it narrows the focus of the food preparation person, eliminates or decreases the amount of training. Basically, you're sitting in front of the screen, when something appears on the screen, you know it's time to cook it or start preparing it at that time. And then the goal is hopefully that as you bump orders and clean things off the screen, all that information is presented on these front type of screens where somebody in a restaurant can see exactly what's going on and understand the status of everything in a restaurant. Okay. A couple other
that you see on the screen is going to be much better. Self-ordering systems is becoming more common. Today, if you go, this is from McDonald's, if you go to McDonald's, you are going to actually see they start implement. But let's look at the history. In 2004, I went to a conference called FS Tech, Food Service Technology Conference. At that time, McDonald's created the first prototype of what you see here. Let's watch that video. Again, remember, 2020 versus 2004. We're talking about 16 years before. This technology, what you see today, in the last few years, it started to be implemented, was actually in the work.
Coca-Cola Easy Order Station. Have you guys seen this? Again, using a lot of Microsoft digital media technologies. We got sound?
Welcome to the Coca-Cola Easy Order Station. Please touch the screen to begin. Bienvenidos a la estación de Coca-Cola. Para comenzar, toque la pantalla. English or Espanol. Please choose your favorite value meal. How many would you like? What size meal would you like? Would you like one of our tasty desserts? Please check your order. Is that for here or to go? Please insert your payment now. Please enter your PIN number now. Would you like cash back? Please collect your change and receipt. Present it at the pickup counter to receive your order. Thank you for using the Coca-Cola Easy Order Station. Well,
so get an example.
You have seen how that self-service kiosks, point-of-sale systems are being evolved. Look, today this is Subway. If you go to Subway, you'll be able to see, and the credit card machine is right here. In the McDonald's example here, the credit card machine is right down in the system that you can actually pay right there. And this is from Wawa coffee shops. They are becoming more and more common. Again, self order kiosks that guests can order by themselves.